all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna go pull my co-car. So
yeah, cause you're such a fucking, I love it. Excuse me, Christian scorecard down a little bit, cursing some more.
Hello, and welcome back to Celebrew, where we sip on the latest and sometimes most controversial stories in entertainment. Today, we're diving into the dramatic fall of one of the most influential yet polarizing figures in pop culture, Kanye West. Once revered as a visionary artist, fashion mogul, and cultural icon, Kanye, or Ye, as he now goes by, seems to have reached a point where even his most loyal fans are questioning their support. Buckle up, because this story has layers of controversy that go from eyebrow-raising to outright disturbing. Kanye West's journey to stardom has always been littered with dramatic twists and turns. From his outburst on live TV saying, "George Bush doesn't care about Black people," to the infamous interruption of Taylor Swift's VMA acceptance speech, his actions have long been the subject of heated debate. Early on, many fans defended these moments by pointing to his raw passion and visionary mindset. Some even found his unapologetic attitude refreshing, an artist unafraid to speak his mind. But if we fast forward to the current climate, there's a new narrative emerging. Kanye's words and actions now have a sharper edge, and the public reaction has shifted from mild support or benign amusement to genuine concern, and, in some cases, outright condemnation, losing a stabilizing force. One of the biggest turning points in Kanye's life was the loss of his mother, Donda West, in 2007. Many fans and experts believe she was the anchor who kept him grounded, while Kanye's creativity and brash persona were there long before his mother passed. It's widely acknowledged that her guidance played a pivotal role in balancing those tendencies. After she was gone, we witnessed a more erratic version of Kanye. His pursuit of attention, critics argue, seemed to intensify. Yet, he still maintained an aura of genius, someone who could push boundaries in fashion and music like no one else. Over time, however, these extremes in behavior became less endearing and more alarming.
What's up, guys? I spent all the money for the commercial.
The dive into extreme controversy. It's no secret that Kanye enjoys using social media, particularly Twitter, as a platform for public rants. He's taken aim at celebrities, political figures, and entire communities, leaving fans to wonder how much of it is genuine belief and how much is pure shock value. In his most recent controversies, Kanye didn't just stop at conspiracy theories. He escalated to openly praising individuals like Adolf Hitler and making blatant anti-Jewish remarks. These statements crossed a line that even his most devoted fans couldn't justify. In the past, fans might have shrugged off his statements as Kanye being Kanye. But with him consistently doubling down on harmful rhetoric, the conversation changed dramatically. One incident that particularly turned heads,
as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas,
was the t-shirt scandal tied to a last-minute Super Bowl commercial. Initially, the website he promoted appeared to sell standard Kanye merchandise. But soon after the ad aired, viewed by millions of people, the site switched to exclusively selling a t-shirt bearing a Nazi symbol. Observers pointed out how this seemed orchestrated to provoke maximum outrage and attention. The shirt reportedly appeared under the SKU HH, which many interpret as a disturbing reference to Hail Hitler. This move illustrated how far Kanye was willing to go to stay in the headlines, even if it meant associating himself with hateful symbols, troubling alliances, and contradictions. Kanye's behavior isn't just shocking because of his extremist rants. It's also deeply contradictory. Once, he called P. Diddy a Fed, suggesting Diddy had made deals with the government.
Playboy magazine that I found when I was 5 years old have an effect on my music. It could never be 100%.
But now, Kanye praises Diddy, even implying he should be pardoned if he were ever jailed, and celebrating him as a father figure he wishes he'd had. Even more troubling, Kanye has defended R. Kelly, notorious for a range of abuse allegations, including an illegal underage marriage. For a man who has 2 daughters, This kind of endorsement is baffling and has left many supporters in disbelief. Social media fallout and Elon Musk's response. Elon Musk, after taking over Twitter, promised a more open platform. Kanye certainly tested those boundaries. Musk didn't react when Kanye posted a barrage of anti-Semitic comments and conspiracy theories, which drew widespread condemnation. Instead, Musk only stepped in when Kanye started posting explicit adult content that violated Twitter's policies. Kanye's account went from fully active to limited, and finally to deleted. Meanwhile, platforms like Shopify removed his online store, ensuring that t-shirt scandal wouldn't reap profits. In the end, it was the adult content, not the hate speech, that seemed to break the camel's back on Twitter, leaving many to question the platform's priorities. Kanye has publicly admitted to struggling with a pornography addiction for most of his life. He has discussed how discovering his dad's Playboy magazine at a young age shaped his outlook on women and relationships. He's also spoken about forcing people in professional settings, like Adidas executives, to watch explicit content. During the Jesus is King era, he publicly denounced adult content, calling it a corrupting force. Yet, more recently, he swung back the other way, expressing a desire to start the biggest adult entertainment company on the planet. The contradiction is hard to ignore, and it paints a picture of a man whose beliefs shift with his emotional whims, rather than reflecting a stable moral or religious foundation. Hypocrisy and public backlash. Kanye's hypocrisy has become a point of major contention among fans and observers. One day, he'll insist that adult content is destroying families and should be banned. The next, he's parading around with his wife, wearing next to nothing, and proclaiming his plan to dive headfirst into the adult industry. That inconsistent moral positioning extends beyond the realm of adult content too. Whether it's politics, celebrity feuds, or social issues, his stance seems to flip based on his mood. This pattern makes it increasingly difficult for even his most ardent supporters to defend him. Many have now admitted they can't keep overlooking his behavior just because he produced iconic albums like The College Dropout and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, a legacy in shambles. There was a time when Kanye was building an empire, not just in music, but in fashion and technology ventures as well. He had a lucrative deal with Adidas, a major following for his Yeezy brand, and considerable influence in pop culture. But after repeated controversies, many of those deals have fallen apart. His spiraling behavior has made him a colossal brand risk. Companies are distancing themselves. Public figures who once admired him are turning away, and fans who spent years praising his genius are burning his merchandise in protest. Reddit communities once dedicated to celebrating him are now questioning everything he stands for. The boy who cried wolf routine has finally worn thin. Even die-hard supporters are throwing in the towel. What happens next? So, where does Kanye go from here? Some speculate he might double down on his most extreme positions in an attempt to remain relevant. Others think he may disappear from the public eye altogether until the next project or controversy. Mental health advocates argue that he needs serious help. Counseling, proper medication, and a support system that doesn't enable destructive behaviors. Yet Kanye has always seemed to reject any notion of help or therapy. For him, it's a matter of pride, a refusal to be controlled or constrained, even if that means sabotaging his own career and relationships. At this point, the man who once reshaped hip-hop, brought high fashion to the masses, and ignited global conversations has, in many ways, become a cautionary tale. He had the world in his hands, unprecedented artistic freedom, massive wealth, and the admiration of millions. But through a series of self-inflicted controversies, he squandered much of that goodwill. His recent actions, promoting hateful symbols, endorsing abusers, and contradicting his own moral posturing, have left the public both confused and exhausted. Even the most unwavering supporters of his music are finding it hard to separate the art from the artist. While it's possible Kanye could have a moment of clarity and repentance, the damage to his legacy might be irreparable. But that's where we stand. We want to hear from you. Has this been the definitive end of Kanye's reign as a cultural icon? Or can he somehow pull off yet another reinvention? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're here, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Celebrew for more deep dives into the biggest stories shaping pop culture. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.